What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the newest BMW X7. This one is an xDrive40i finished off in skyscraper gray metallic. MSRP is just under $90,000. Big shout out and thank you to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this really nice luxury SUV for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked down below. Underneath the hood of the new BMW X7 40i, you're going to find the inline 6-cylinder turbocharged motor. It pumps out 375 horsepower with 398 pound-feet of torque, and it's also paired to a mild hybrid system. This is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, sending the power to all four wheels through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, and with a curb weight around 5,400 pounds running on a 21.9-gallon fuel tank, you can expect 21 miles per gallon in the city with 22 out on the highway. This 3-row SUV can also tow up to 7,500 pounds. Overall length is 203.6 inches with a wheelbase at 122.2. Height is 72.2 inches and width is 78.7. And now moving on to the exterior styling with the BMW X7. This is BMW's largest SUV with a really cool up-to-date look. You're going to see these really cool looking LED headlights, have these nice daytime running lights up on top, and the actual headlight portion is down below. I love that split design, it certainly makes this car look super cool. You can see a functional air inlet on the far left side of the bumper to allow air to pass through the bumper, and then we get a nice silver trim piece as well to guide more airflow. You can see a massive grille down below with active grille shutters and a safety sensor, and then the huge kidney-shaped grills up above with more active shutters. Get the forward-facing camera right in the center, really nice silver trim, and overall the front end comes together so well. It's a modern-looking luxury-focused SUV, and it looks super cool. We get that BMW badge right on top with some nice sharp body lines cutting towards the windshield. And then as we make our way to the side profile, this is a very proportional-looking SUV. We get a nice set of multi-spoke wheels finished off in a two-tone color. They are 22-inch diameter, and you get a nice silver color on the brake caliper. We get body color along the fenders, along with some nice sharp body lines, and then some chrome trim in the lower portion, cutting towards the lower portion of these doors. More nice body lines throughout the side profile, and then one sharp one cutting through the entire side. We get body colored on the door handles along with the mirror caps. They even feature an LED turn signal, and then a nice looking brushed aluminum color throughout the windows. We get a sunroof up top with all the glass, and a matching set of roof rails. The overall side profile, you can tell this is a pretty large SUV, but the proportions make it look really nice. Doesn't look too bulky or anything like that, really stands out. And then you can see that one sharp line cutting towards these taillights. We get some gloss trim surrounding the rear window with a shark fin antenna. You also get the windshield wiper down below that, and I like how these LED taillights are designed. They're sunken into the bodywork with a three-dimensional look, chrome trim connecting them with your badges on the right, BMW logo and X7. And they get a really nice design for the liftgate. You get chrome surrounding the exhaust tips along with some silver trim, more parking sensors, nice sharp lines throughout the center, and overall the X7 looks really nice. Moving to the key fob, we have your lock button that also doubles for remote start, unlock, trunk release along with your panic button in a pretty cool shape. With the car locked, all you have to do is grab the door handle, mirrors are going to automatically fold, and we can check out this interior. This one has the coffee leather interior, really nice design all throughout it. And if we take a look at the door panel now, finish off in two-tone, get the coffee color surrounding the insert as well as the padded armrest, some black leather up above that with your release handle. We do have memory seating, and then even a button right here. If you press this forward, both front seats are actually going to slide forward with the rears to get them out of the way. So no more having to wait and go to each front door to get them out of the way to fold down the second row. You have more controls all surrounding everything, storage down below along with ambient lighting and dark wood trim. Then you can see BMW on the door sill, and all of your power controls for the seat. You can have a button right here for the adjustable leg rests. You can adjust your bolsters, lumbar, everything like that. And then we get a really cool pattern here with perforations, really nice diamond design. Makes its way all the way up towards the backrest and even on the headrest. And spinning around, we get a black leather steering wheel with silver trim. And then now inside the X7, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You get this massive screen that is curved, roaring to life, and we get a very nice design for the digital gauge cluster. You can see your speedometer on the left side, tach on the right, and you can see a navigation screen right in the center. Now you can configure it just a little bit, going through your different drive modes. If we go into comfort now, it'll be a little bit different design, and then going into sport mode as well. And then back to Eco Pro, instead of having the tack, you're gonna see more of a power percentage and efficiency. You can also see your BMW badge with some leather. We have all your cruise control settings on the left side with some Bluetooth and audio on the right. You also get steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, controls on the right side for windshield wipers, and then your turn signal stock on the left, and the BC icon. You can scroll through a few vitals on the screen. We have all of your headlight controls down below with interior lighting, some silver aluminum color, and then nice air vents with a twist design to turn them on and off, and a pretty easy way to toggle them. Get smooth black leather along the dashboard, a heads-up display as well, and more leather running across the dash, and this really nice wood trim. It's kind of a dark brown color, and then we get ambient lighting all throughout the center with the X7, so very nice the way that's designed, and it kind of has a textured geometric design with a cool pattern. Now moving to the infotainment screen, this is the new screen for these cars, really nice with all your climate controls that'll pop up. You can easily swipe left and right. The menu AC icon will always be down here, so you can easily adjust any temperatures and easily get to all your climate. Home screen on the left brings you here. You have a configurable design with navigation. A few more things will pop up all throughout it. If we go onto one of these for My BMW, you can see a few different items. You can see contents as well. You can adjust a few more items and continue scrolling. We have this icon right here where you're going to see all the apps within the car. We have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can easily scroll through all of this, infotainment apps, vehicle apps as well. And if we continue, we have our full screen navigation. Pretty nice screen, pretty snappy as well with pinch to zoom and everything. And then if we go ahead and take the vehicle, push us down into reverse, we get that backup camera popping up with all of your parking sensors as well as guideline. If we tap this icon, we can get a nice view for the rear. You can tap this parking view as well, go back here, and then you can see a few more items. They go under settings now. You can adjust different safety settings within the car as well. And overall, a pretty nice design. Then if we just tap this P button, we'll go back into park. Underneath the screen, you're gonna see a little bit of buttons here. We have volume on off, track, and then your defrost, and then more of this really nice gray wood color. There's ambient lighting and silver trim. And just sliding that out of the way, you're gonna see two cup holders, a USB and a 12 volt. We get a little bit of storage under here as well, and then some of that brown leather on the sides. And now in the center, you can see traction control, parking sensors, all of those drive mode select, along with your parking brake. And then the rotary dial on the far right, you can also adjust the screen. So you don't always have to use the actual touchscreen. You can easily use a rotary dial, go into different items, go back, and have different shortcuts to go into everything you're gonna want. Now you do see this new shifter, which I really like how low profile it is, super up to date. And then we have an adjustable air ride suspension. You can easily toggle it. Of course, it'll adjust depending on your drive mode. And then behind that, we have our nice armrest with some silver trim, and it'll open in two separate pieces. We have quite a lot of storage in here with a plug. And then over on the far right side, we can take a look at the glove box. One last look at the interior. I think BMW did a really good job. That screen looks super cool. Definitely the way to go. And it's just a premium, up-to-date luxury SUV. We have a light colored roof design, and you can see that massive panoramic roof with a sunshade and a sunshade for the third passengers. We get LED dome lights, your light controls, and a frameless mirror. And then moving on to the second row, if I open up the door panel's finished off just like we saw up front. Then we have some controls for the side sunshades, the roof, along with the rear, and then of course the window itself. We have a grab handle, nice design throughout it with more ambient lighting and storage. And this even has power controls for all the adjustments on these seats. You're gonna see the same interior design with the perforated leather, the cool quilted pattern. It can seat 3 people in the center, but you can also pull this down. You get cup holders along with storage. And of course, it's a nice armrest. If we take a look up in front, you're gonna see climate vents, heated seats, and all the different controls, plugs down below, and a little bit of storage, and even storage behind the seats. There's a slot right here, so you can do a tablet or something like that. And then from here, we even have headrests that will fold down for better driver visibility. And then if you press this button, it'll get that seat out of the way. You can also see controls right here for rear seat passengers to adjust this, and it'll fold nice and flat and get it out of the way. There's also buttons back here to raise and lower the third row seat. So if I press one of these buttons, you can see how everything slides forward, and then now these are gonna automatically open up. So if I press the other one as well, that is a really good touch. Most cars, you have to manually move these before doing anything. So I think BMW's taking some notes. All right, sitting in the second row of the X7, this is a nice place to be. This is their biggest SUV, and at 5'11", I have so much headroom, plenty of legroom, even with the seat at my height, and with the controls on the side. It's really easy to adjust everything. They recline at a great angle. I mean, honestly, fantastic second row seat for sure. All the amenities you're gonna need, of course, even grab handles, dome lights, armrests are in a great place, and with the controls to put the sunshades up, I mean, you really have it all back here. To gain access to the third row, I just pressed this forwards button and the seat got out of the way and gives me a nice walkway into the third row. Now this can seat 2 people back here, and you're even gonna get all the same leather with the perforated diamond design in the center. There's also ambient lighting, cup holders, and armrests all back here, which really makes this quite nice. So then now sitting into the third row, surprisingly, this is once again pretty darn nice. Now with the seat out of the way, of course, a little bit more comfortable, but we have that skylight up above, and you even have climate controls all here with heated seats. That is so cool. You have fan right here, of course, all the other amenities. And if I go ahead and hop into the seat with the seat in front of me, at 5'11", once again, I still have plenty of knee room. This seat's kind of in a normal spot. So honestly, for a 3-row vehicle, they didn't really cut corners. This is a true utility vehicle for the family, and not bad at all in the third row. Moving on to the cargo area, I can just press the button on the key fob. It's gonna automatically open the upper section. Of course, there is a button on the liftgate itself. You're gonna notice this is a 2-piece design. You now have a button right here you can press, and that is gonna automatically open kind of like a truck, just like the X5 is gonna give you. So really nice to see this design, just making it a little bit easier to load and unload. And with that third row up, you actually have some storage back here. Pretty good cargo area. If we open this up, there's hidden space. You can see with a privacy cover. And then we have controls on this left side where you can really easily adjust everything. So with the person icon, with the luggage icon, if you want to hit this button right here for max capacity for cargo area, everything is going to automatically go down, give you all the space back here. And with the third row down, you can see nice and flat how everything is. And that second row is already doing something. It's automatically going, and we are now at max capacity for all of your cargo. Of course, we have buttons right here to individually lift up seats, of course, max for people. So if I just hold one of these buttons, you can see how that seat is now gonna start operating and do what it needs to do. So really cool design for sure. And then all you have to do is press this button right here. It's gonna automatically close both of these pieces and close everything up. All right, guys, so we are setting off in the X7, just in eco mode. Slowly getting up to speed. Effortless. Honestly, the B58 motor in this car with that hybrid system, it actually has plenty of power to where it's actually pretty peppy. And when you're in just a normal mode, it is such a relaxing vehicle. Of course, this is their biggest kind of top flagship SUV, and it shows. It's a really comfortable ride. And for way less than 100 grand, it actually seems like quite a bargain, especially when some American third-row SUVs are more than this. So you get a really luxurious German interior. I mean, it is beautiful in here. Great visibility out of the windshield. Frameless mirror lets you see everything going on back there. And the other mirrors also do a really good job letting you know what's going on. But it is super comfortable, even going over bridge bumps and things like that. And as far as visibility over your left and right shoulder, pretty good view out. You really don't have any crazy blind spots. Of course, you can fold down those headrests back there to make it a little bit better, but really nice to drive. The suspension too, it drives like you're on a cloud. It just floats over bumps, absorbs everything really nicely. Steering is effortless. It's pretty insulated too. You don't really hear anything going on. And these seats are really comfortable. They have all the adjustments, all that sort of thing that you're gonna want. And it's a great place to be. And when you touch any of the buttons, it comes up on the screen too, letting you know what you're doing, which I think just kind of further helps get this into a comfortable position. But I mean, I could see driving here like no issue. Now in Eco Pro, throttle response is a little on the slow side, of course, being the Eco. When you're in normal mode, I think the vehicle drives a lot better just because it gives you a little bit better throttle response, basically, a little bit more responsive of a car. And then I like how sport mode actually does a little bit. You can tell it kind of sharpens up the engine response. The steering and suspension are just slightly sharper. It's still a huge SUV, so don't expect this to drive like an M3 or something like that. But if we're now in sport mode and we shift with the paddles, gets up to speed nicely. The paddle shifters themselves are responsive, and you can hear the turbo noises just a little bit. So there's a little bit of drama to this. Of course, you can get the V8 version of an X7 with even more power and drama, but even for being the standard entry-level point, it drives great, and you really get all the luxuries you're gonna want. All right, so we are setting off now. My perspective, honest thoughts of the X7. Honestly, I'm a big fan. I feel like BMW knocked it out of the park, especially when you look at pricing. This really isn't that expensive for what it is. When you look at the other jumbo 3-row SUVs, even from General Motors or Ford, you're talking nearly $100,000 for a fully loaded one. And BMW's entry-level one is still just as nice, if not nicer. So quite honestly, I think for 80, 90 grand, maybe 100 grand for a little bit higher spec one, I don't think you can complain. I think this is really well priced. And when you're in it, it feels like a nice BMW. You can tell it's got that high quality that you're going to expect with a BMW, reliable engine, you know this thing's going to last a long time, and the interior tech is very nice to look at. It looks fantastic in here. The screen, I'm not a fan of a lot of companies who do just that one huge screen, but somehow I think BMW is the one company that did it right. It just fits so well in the dash, especially with the contours, the lighting and everything that you touch. It just feels like a really good place to be. And then when you are getting up and going, even eco mode, like I said, still plenty of pep, but sport mode, a lot more peppy. It's nice how a car like this has a little bit of drama to it. For being, it's a family car, you're not really gonna be ripping on it in a car like this. But I think they've done a good job just giving you everything you want, nothing more, nothing less. The tech is easy to use, it looks really good, and it's not confusing. I know some cars might get a little iffy with using it. And then I think the biggest surprise with the X7 is that third row is genuinely useful. Now this doesn't feel as big as a Yukon or something like that. You know, personally, those are kind of big for my taste. I wouldn't really want to have an SUV that's that big. This doesn't feel as bulky and big like the American jumbo SUVs. And yet, this has a real third row that's pretty darn practical. Even with the seats up, there's storage behind them. So it is a true 3-row vehicle. It's not like when they had the X5, how you could get a third row in that, which would have been horrible to be back there. This is genuinely a built for 3-row vehicle. Now, I guess one of the drawbacks could be that all of it is automatic. I like it in the sense of, like, this button up here, I can just press it, get these seats out of the way, because before I've made complaints with other cars to where you want to put the second row up, however your driver's seat's in the way, so you got to walk around and do that. That's annoying. So BMW solved that for sure by making everything automatic and intuitive. When you put one seat down, it moves other seats around to make that function rather than you manually having to do it. However, you do have to kind of wait. If you want to get the second row out of the way to get in the third, you got to press the button and you got to wait a couple seconds. So that's the one downfall. I wish there was like a manual bypass where you just pull it and push it and also have the automatic control. I think that'd be cool, but at least they have taken into account that you can just press the button and the car does everything for you. So there are pluses and minuses to that. That's my only downfall, just waiting for the electronics to work. However, I'd still like it. Interior, everything works great. I love the new shifter much better than the big one. It just keeps it out of the way, keeps it simple. But there is the newest BMW X7, the xDrive40i. Big shout out and thank you once again to Carolina Auto Direct. This is actually a pre-owned vehicle, nearly brand new. So definitely check out their website for some awesome vehicles. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.